Today we are going to look at this sample of kimono, which I purchased recently, and I want to show you this masterpiece as a couture work, created by a Japanese designer, by a Japanese tailor, and it's a typical cut, as you can see, well-known kimono cut. However, the front is a bit different to what we expect from kimono, you know, with this collar at the front. Here we have this low neckline, and basically if you look at the kimono cut, this is completely made of rectangles. However, if you look at the shapes of the sleeve hem, you see this curve. If you look at the hem of the kimono garment, yes, of the kimono, you see this kind of angle finishing at the hemline. But basically it's all made of rectangles, and I want to show you how, in fact, this garment was created so that the interior is as beautiful as the exterior. It's all made by hand, believe me or not. There is no machine stitching, at least one machine stitching, there is nothing. So, and even the buttons are made from fabric, yes, it's covered by fabric. Here we have the snap buttons. In this garment, basically, you can't see the seams. If you look at this part here, the seams can be recognized only by unmatching pattern of the fabric, right? So the seam is hardly visible, and if you look here, the seam is covered by this, let's say, facing, white facing, and the facing is attached to the garment so that from outside it is not visible at all. No thread, no stitch, nothing is visible. Look at the side seam. The side seam, which has this seam allowance, about 4 centimeters each side, and seam allowance is also attached by hand to the garment so that it is not visible from the outside as well. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So the fabric, of course, is excellent. It's 100% Japanese silk, beautiful color. So look at this finishing here. Look at some hand stitches that were applied here and there, seam, side seam as well. The garment is pure perfection, and it's absolutely couture work of Japanese tailor. The hemline, so how this was actually created, just simply folding inside. Here you can see the fold, the part which was folded inside. You can at least see this one, stitched by hand, beautiful. The same with this finishing at the sleeve here. You see this curvy line, perfectly made. I can only feel where it goes inside, right? I feel the fold inside, but it's absolutely not visible from outside. So the cut is very smart. Basically, each the entire piece of silk was utilized completely without any fabric leftovers. This garment is supposed to be used for many years, maybe for different people. It can be passed from generation to generation. The size can fit the next person because the seams can be opened and the garment can be enlarged, or it can be produced in a smaller size. So it's actually a very good garment for every designer and every tailor to examine and understand. We talk a lot about zero-waste design now. This is an example that exists for hundreds of years. Traditional garment where the fabric was respected, the fabric was valued, and therefore not even the smallest piece of fabric was thrown away. Everything is utilized. So, and utilized in a very, very comprehensive way, clever way. So, as I said, this cut is different, so I never saw the kimono of this type, with this low neckline. Look at the hem, the size of the hem, 12 centimeters. It also contributes to the overall quality of the garment, to the hem of the garment. Therefore, the garment, when you put it on the body, feels so comfortable, and the shape is absolutely amazing. So this is a real masterpiece. So here I turn the kimono out. So the interior part of the back is visible. So this center back seam, I see the stitches. As I said, not everywhere the motif is matching, right? Even in the center seam, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually spoil the quality of the garment. So here we have the lining, which is basically the same fabric, right? Let's say the yoke at the back is covering beautifully, and I was looking at the neckline. The neckline is actually curved. It's a curve, but the seam allowance is not trimmed. So we see the seam allowance. I can feel it here, wider than here, right? So it's not trimmed at all. So it is left, as I said, for the maybe next generation to use and to enlarge or whatever, do something with the neckline. Right? Amazing work, amazing work. Here I want to demonstrate something else. I want to demonstrate how the corner, the rounded corner of the sleeve, of the hem of the sleeve are made here. We see the hand stitches, look at the hand stitches. And basically nothing is trimmed away. You see this part is left so that it also contributes to the hem hemline and to the hem of the sleeve itself. Here the only seam allowance that is not attached to the garment itself, it's left open, and you can see the selvage here, the selvage of the fabric piece, the selvage. So many discoveries can be made with this garment. We can learn a lot from this. So as I said, the garment is made with nothing, not even a smallest piece of fabric thrown away. Let's see again at the interior part. Now you see this facing at the front, attached to the garment invisibly. Beautiful neckline. Amazing garment.
A perfection.
I forgot to show you the ties, how the ties are attached. Look at this. With cross stitch on top. I hope you can see this. I will make additional picture for this. You see two ties here. Yeah. Quite low, quite low. I'm not sure who was wearing this kimono, the man or woman, but the tie is actually attached quite low. Beautiful.